That's brand new Rat right here on the Classic Metal Show featuring Sean Sheldon on lead. Oh, no, it's...
Sure it is.
No, that's Stephen Pearcy from his latest release, Smash, with 10 Miles Wide, which they released a new music video for that this week. We've had
that? Did he play it at your show?
Not that song. He did play, he played 4 songs.
Okay.
And it sounded, I think you're going to enjoy the show, dude. I'm glad you're going.
I am definitely. I'm taking a pack of people with me, too.
Oh, good for you.
I got like, I think I asked today for 5 tickets and passes.
Well, good for you.
I will be there.
I think you'll enjoy it, and I know the guys are looking forward to meeting that other half of that duo, that Chris Aiken guy.
Well, what's funny is it's already been addressed with the promoter. The promoter somehow mentioned that I was coming, and they said, make sure he gets back.
Yeah, I'll see that.
It's like, wow, look at me, celebrity.
Yeah, those guys are fans of this show.
Well, that's good, because I'm taking the girl, and that'll finally I'll look like cool guy for a minute.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know,
so they basically gave the promoter heads up that they were glad you were going to attend, huh?
Yeah, well, I had reached out to the promoter and asked, he reached out to me and asked me if I was coming.
Yeah.
Because he liked the interview with Stephen, whenever that was. It was 2 months ago.
Yeah,
or whatever.
January.
And I said to him, I said, you know, I don't know, can you hook me up with blah, 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 blah. And he was like, yeah, you know, I'll check with the band. So he checked with the band. The band wants me to come. So I was like, wow. Cool.
Well, I'm telling you, when I told them that you'd be at the Kent stage, they said, well, make sure we need to meet him.
I will make sure that we meet, and then they'll be disappointed.
Disappointed?
This guy? This fat guy? Come on.
Who's this guy again? Who are you with?
I thought you'd be some cool hip guy, not some fat guy that looks like he just got out of a cave.
Disappointed!
You're damn right. Sorry, Eric. He'll be like, all right, go back to your seats now.
Yeah, we met Neely. We want to hang with that guy.
Yeah. Where's your flame shirt, fag?
Yeah.
You're wearing a hoodie, you queer. Get out of here.
So funny. Well, speaking of Stephen Pearcy, Stephen did an interview with, and again, I don't know these guys. I don't know whether their show is good or not. I guess they do okay. I'm assuming this is a podcast.
Okay.
But they bring this chick on, and I'm going to assume that they bring her in similar to how you and I do this show together through the Skype.
Okay.
And again, adds nothing to it. Adds nothing to the show.
That's your assessment.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you and the rest of the CMS listeners decide whether this is a key element to making this a successful show.
All right. That will be good.
All right. The name.
What is the name of the show?
Well, I was getting to that.
Okay.
The name of this show is called, let's see here. I don't want to mispronounce it because it's called the Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show.
The Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show?
Yes.
I can honestly say I've never heard of this.
Okay. They did an interview with Steven. Steven called into their show.
Okay. How do you know that they're successful?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that they were successful.
No. I said bringing this girl in, I don't know if this is a key to their success.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're successful or not. I'm just saying that is this a key element to launch them into the...
All right, yeah, I was going to say I'm pretty in tune with the podcast, and I cannot say that I've heard these guys.
These guys are based out of Denver, I think.
Okay.
And they apparently had gotten Steven to call into the show.
All right, cool.
And of course, they bring this girl on first, very much in the fashion of bringing Jennifer on.
Okay.
And you'll understand where I'm going with this.
Strap in, folks. This sounds great.
So just to let you know where you can find it, it's called Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show.
All right.
All right. So they bring on a girl by the name of Samantha Scarlett.
Okay. Samantha Scarlett.
And she's apparently on an East Coast. She's like in New Jersey or something.
Shouldn't they have that as part of the name? What was the name? Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show?
Yeah.
Featuring Samantha Scarlett?
Well, featuring the whole Samantha Scarlett. That's how it should read.
Okay.
You'll love this. Here we go.
Right, let's hear.
Touche.
Guitarist in the 90s before or after Frusciante.
All right, hang on a minute. Got to go back here.
Eddie, Jason, and Chris. EJCShow.com.
It's Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show. All right, we're going to get Samantha Scarlett here on the line, and Jason and Chris are telling secrets when we're on the air.
We're not telling
How's
secrets.
that professional? That's not professional.
We're not
How's
telling
it professional
secrets.
that you're telling them that we have a secret?
Okay.
And you
Kinda
clear
rude.
your throat as soon as we go on every week.
I do.
Talk about professionalism.
I know. Let's
Get
talk
that
about it.
cleared up, and then maybe we can start talking and getting judged.
Checkmate.
Say hello to Samantha Scarlett and be professional.
Hello, Sam.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Did you get a Porsche?
No, that whole thing's still kind of messed up. Actually, we just got the money back on it. So
Oh, at least you got the money
that's
back.
good. Yeah, finally, like 2 weeks later.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Go BMW.
How are you doing?
No, I'm good. How are you guys?
Do you have a little...
All right.
All right. So far, so enthralling.
Well, the part that always gets me when people bring somebody on the show,
Yeah.
they go through the whole pleasantries of how you doing? I'm good. How you doing? How are you? How are things? It's good. How about you guys? It's good. How's the weather over there? Well, it's a nice day. How about over there?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's like, all right, skip that shit. How you doing? Good. All right. So what you calling about today? Let's go.
exactly. You move on, right? Exactly.
A little bit of a cold going on or
sick?
something?
Yeah, I'm getting sick. It's
Oh,
no
no.
fun.
I don't know. Yeah, there's that thing
You've
going
been
around.
sick for like 3 weeks.
What?
No, I was fine last week, but like I woke up today with like a sore throat. So yeah,
Oh, no. Well, I hope...
it's freezing cold here though. I'm under like 2 feet of snow. So
Right.
getting sick is like natural.
Yeah, you guys had a big northeastern storm there, huh?
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
And yeah, it's been great here in Denver. It was just 80 degrees the other day.
It's supposed to be 80
Right.
again Thursday.
Jesus. Okay. Even Bob Leather doesn't focus this much on the weather. Move on.
All right.
Well, what's weird is it was like on Wednesday on my birthday. It was 60 degrees out here, which 60 in New Jersey is like, or New York is really warm. And then by like midnight, it was snowing. So, and then we had like 2 feet of snow on Thursday. So the weather's kind of strange here.
The weather's been strange all season, I must say.
Oh, he had the out
Yeah.
and he didn't take it. He had the out. She hit a stop. She totally hit a stop. She said, the weather has really been strange here. Bang. That's the transition thing. You know what? It has been, too. It's been strange here, too. But you know what else has been strange? Stephen Pearcy. He's a strange, boom, into the whatever. Holy smokes. He went back to the fucking weather. Oh, boy. Okay.
And yes, Nathan, I'm going to do my best to get you in with Steven. Just answering a
Okay.
chat room question.
Sure.
Global warming. It's real.
Or maybe it's harp.
Or maybe it's harp.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's harp. So this week we're gonna do something a little bit different, right? You're bringing
Yeah,
in.
I thought like let's take a break from the paranormal stuff, especially like maybe because the Church of Scientology and whatever. We don't need to be controversial every week. So I thought this week let's do a musical guest for my segment.
Okay, and who are you bringing on?
I'm bringing on Stephen Pearcy from Rat.
Stephen Pearcy from Rat. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What made you want to bring on Stephen Pearcy? This is really cool. I never thought he'd ever come on the show, or we'd have.
I don't know.
the opportunity to talk to him.
He and I are like on Twitter together, and I thought, I'll message him. He has a new album out. See if he wants to come on the show, and he agreed. So.
And the new album is with Rat, correct? I was looking over.
No, he has a solo album out.
All right. So these guys obviously are not fans.
No, I have no.
No idea. They don't follow it. It's just like, okay, you invited Steven on. That's cool. What does he do?
Who? Yeah, he has a new album with Rat. Came out in 2010.
Yeah. So these guys did not do any homework at all.
They might not have known.
Well, they knew that she was bringing somebody on.
Yeah, but they might not have known who. Maybe she was trying to do like mystery guest.
I don't think so. They said, so you're going to bring Stephen Pearcy on from Rat.
Yeah. All right.
And
well,
how did that happen? And then she said, well, I Twittered him and he said he'd come on.
I'm trying to help her here.
I get you.
Oh, but Rat are reuniting.
Right, that's what I was
and they
reading.
have like they're in some like legal battle over their name. I think it's something kind of like the whole thing with Queensryche. So yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, let's get. Well, we have a couple minutes here before we can talk to him. But are you a big Rat fan?
No, not really. I mean, like I like a lot of that '80s stuff, but you know.
Then why are you on Twitter with them?
Not really a fan.
Why would you follow a celebrity on Twitter that you're not into their work?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. That'd be like me following Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
You know, he's famous. I've heard of him, so I'm going to follow him on Twitter. Couldn't give a shit about his fake church. But, you know, I'm going to follow Joel Osteen. In fact, I'm going to hit him up and see if he wants to come on the Classic Metal Show. Seems like a good fit. What the fuck is wrong with this broad?
There we go.
Holy cow.
You know me, I'm like more into the '90s grunge, but I mean, I'm totally familiar with it. That stuff's like fun to listen to at a bar, though. Like, you know, like in New York City, I used to go to these parties, and they'd always play like Rat or Poison or Motley Crue and AC/DC.
This song is awesome. It's timeless, and Rat. You can't deny Rat's
Wow, talk about just busting in there with. It didn't just like pot it up, you know, slowly. It just bang.
Well, you know what it is clear that they don't have working, that they should have, and me and you don't do it anymore, but they should be doing. They should be using the messenger. You know, because she has no idea when they're talking. They have no idea how to get in on her.
Right.
You know, they don't have chemistry with her to know her stops to when they should start talking.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And that's why he just busted in on that. Because he didn't know that she was done talking.
Sure.
She wasn't. She was still rambling.
influence in 80s metal.
What kind of bars were you going to?
In New York? I don't know. There's like parties. Like, I know this club promoter who's like 30, but he does like 80s metal themed parties, and everybody dresses up kind of like Motley Crue or Rat from the 80s for the parties. It's fun.
Love that. Love that. This guy's lived an awesome life, and it's going to be cool to talk to him. Let's get him on.
He lives an awesome life.
How does he know?
That's kind of my thought. It's like he lives an awesome life.
I will say this about Eddie, Jason, and Chris here. They do have good sound.
I do agree with that. But they were all in the same room.
Except for the girl, yeah.
Except for the girl. They're all in Denver in a room.
Yeah.
And then she's on Skype or something, you know.
They do have professional quality sound, though. I'll give them that.
Again, I'm not putting the show down in any way, shape, or form. My focus here is, what does this girl bring to this whole conversation?
She has this big Twitter following, obviously.
Does she?
Well, she uses Twitter to get Stephen Pearcy on.
Okay.
On the phone here. This is it's going to be quite the honor, actually. This is a rock and roll legend, and a guy who's seen a lot. Here we go.
Yeah.
We'll call him up here live on the show. Hopefully he didn't forget about us.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Pearcy, this is the Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show. Samantha Scarlett here as well, calling for our live interview. How are you?
Great. How are you guys?
Great.
We're doing good. Thanks for taking the time to...
I want that clip, Wheezy. Please. I want her going, great. Play that again, please. That was awesome. That's a clip we need.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Pearcy, this is the Eddie, Jason, and Chris Show. Samantha Scarlett here as well, calling for our live interview. How are you?
Great. How are you guys?
Great.
I want it. I need that fucking clip.
We're doing good. Thanks for taking the time to come on the show and talk to us a little bit. It's an honor to have you.
No problem. How you guys doing today?
We're good.
Doing great.
Oh, my God. She is atrocious.
Wow. See, this is why I had to key in on this a little bit. I listened to this and just like, oh my God, this is Jennifer Nightmare.
This is horrible.
This is Jennifer right here. Hi, Jennifer. How's it going today? Great. What do you got for us?
What?
Got all kinds of band 80s hair world news.
Yeah. Stephen Pearcy.
How you doing, girly?
I'm good. It's awesome to finally talk to you. So let's get into the interview. You guys, Rat, you guys just reunited Saturday night on stage in Minnesota. How was that?
Oh boy.
How was that?
What was that like? Jesus.
All right.
She's got skills. She has skills.
Yep.
How much fucking coke do you think she has done? She sounds like a cokehead. Like she's like really fried.
It's hard to say. I don't know. I can't quite get a grip, on well, again, how did these guys in Denver end up with this chick?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's too bad because their sound is pretty good.
It was actually a great show, sold out, getting the feet wet again. The next show up is we headline the M3 Festival in April. In the meantime, I have to start my solo tour next month for Smash. So I'm kind of ping-ponging around.
You didn't sound too excited
Rap
about
is doing just festivals right now.
What do you mean you have to start your solo tour? You mean you get to? Are you excited about it, right?
Oh, my solo tour?
Yeah. I don't know, just the way you said that. Just making sure you're excited.
Of course. Oh, yeah. I don't have to. I want to. I mean, the record's doing great. It's charting very well, which is incredible, and it's doing good. Put a lot of hard work into the record, and it's paying off. But at the same time, we're talking about two different monsters here. Rat is one, and my solo band is another. But they'll complement each other. There's no problem with that.
Now, before we get talking about the solo album, what's the whole deal with this legal battle that you guys have been in with Rat? Because it's kind of like how with Queensryche, there were like two different versions of the band going around, and then there's a lawsuit against your former drummer Bobby Blotzer because he has like a revolving door version of the band. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, Stephen, in other words, tell us everything that's happened in the last 2 years in this question. Go. And start. Stephen, you're not telling me.
Sure.
Tell me everything that's happened. Go. Jesus.
Wow.
She's good. You think she's available for our show?
Is she what?
Available for our show?
I don't know.
I'd like to get her on.
All right. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Great.
Great.
Love it.
Yep.
All with it is the person decided through another.
I like how Stephen will not even mention Blotzer by name.
Oh, that's funny.
He just calls him this person.
That other guy.
This other person.
Yep.
Entity which no longer exists, that he had control and rights when in fact he didn't, and it was proven in court that the partnership does, and that's the four of us including him, but we fired him up from the partnership. And so it's pretty much the water, pretty much dust is settled. Just finalities now legally. It was not a good thing. It had a lot to do. The thing is with the band is this guy never wrote a note, and he just
this guy. This guy never wrote a note.
Yeah, it's like he's a roadie.
Yeah.
decided, well, I'm king of the jungle. It's going to be I'm going to rewrite history. And we said, no, you're not. And the fact that he was suing us, it made it even worse. It's like, okay, how many fights do you want to get into? You want one big gang fight, or you want to take each one of us on by yourself? And he decided to do it by himself. It's even worse. And so we're happy with the outcome, and we are the only version that is out there, and will continue to be out there.
Well, congratulations on winning.
So Steven's like trying to finish his sentence, and this guy's talking over him.
Hey, well, he's radio guy, dude. Got to hit that post. Got to get it within those 12 minutes.
Right.
The lawsuit, by the way, but when that whole thing first started to go down, I mean, what was going through your mind? How are you? I mean, that's got to be kind of a huge personal dig.
Yeah, the thing is, when you have somebody, like I say, try to rewrite history, and they're doing it with a cover band, and look, I wrote a lot of, if not all of the songs I had something to do with, so it had more to do with our integrity. It's like, we work all these years, and people still want to see us. We don't go and play out there all the time anyway. We take a year or two off, or maybe 6 years between records, but that gives nobody else permission to just decide one day, well, guess what? I'm, going to do everything, and I had nothing to do with nothing. But
I had nothing to do with nothing.
It's good to feel the love.
Yeah, this other guy.
Yeah, they rode around in buses together for 30 years. Now you won't even say his fucking name.
Nope.
It's hilarious. Talk about an ex-wife syndrome. Holy fuck.
Absolutely. We're divorced from the situation now, Pally.
Yeah, don't mention that fuck.
But play drums, and so it was kind of more of an insulting and damaging to the integrity of the group and our legacy. I mean, I'm sure Robin is quite pissed somewhere.
Robin is quite pissed somewhere.
You got a ghost that's mad.
Yeah,
that's a lot of anger there.
I'll tell you.
Will never be the same without him, but I'm sure he's not lying peacefully right now, or he is now, but when this is going on, But dust is settled, and that's pretty much how we leave it. We're not into mudslinging and this adolescent name calling and stuff, which we found very humiliating to our audience.
Oh no!
Well, I'll agree with that. I think that's your biggest problem.
Well, and he's still doing it. He's doing it this week.
Well, I know. TJ James brought up him bringing up the whole Juan Crucier stage moves.
The stage move thing, and and he was smashing Crucier tonight on his Facebook. He never shuts up. He needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I can't believe his attorney hasn't dropped him. Honestly.
That's because he's probably paying him.
Yeah, but most attorneys wouldn't put up with this shit. Most attorneys would be, at some point, the attorney would be like, shut the fuck up, or I'm leaving this fucking battle.
Right.
Because he'll still get paid anyway. These guys get the ironclad thing that they still get a percentage even if another attorney comes in. that's how it works.
Sure.
We're way past that.
Which are much smarter. Our audience is much smarter than somebody gave them credit for.
Absolutely.
Well, to me, it's kind of mind-blowing that he would have the nerve to take your stuff, being that he wasn't a co-writer on the music, and then take the name and then go perform music that didn't really belong to him. Couldn't you guys have filed some injunction against him performing the songs, or does that just fall under fair use as far as doing covers?
What? What? It's not about playing the songs, dumbass. It's about using the name. Holy smokes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anybody can play anybody's music, but you eventually have to pay a sync rights, so that's a little complicated there, but yeah, there's some reality. But I mean, should we get into that? No. I mean, I'm still getting paid eventually from it, and I'm on every song we've ever written, if not written by myself. So,
but you got to think the nerve
is off.
The nerve of that guy, though.
This talking over just drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating.
Let the guy finish his sentence before you jump in.
Well, he's got to move the show along, dude.
I guess.
I mean, what the hell was his end game? He's going to go out there and perform these songs.
Oh, I think I asked that question last week.
What, his end game?
Yeah.
Did you listen to this in advance?
No.
Thief?
No, I used the term.
Did you steal from the Eddie, Jason, and Chris show?
I did. I used the term end game last week.
You fucking thief.
I am. Plagiarizing.
Let me go out to the YouTube and take down that thing. Because I don't want to be part of your plagiarism.
Right. Because I said end game last week.
Fucking shit. Stealing from Eddie, Jason, and Chris.
Right.
You do realize they are the 2016 podcast of the year in Denver.
That's what I heard.
So, and you're stealing from them.
I am.
Well, I guess who else would you steal from? They're also the 2015 best national podcast based in Denver.
Based in Denver.
That's the award. They have their awards listed.
Could you get the best podcast based in Twinsburg?
I bet I probably could. I would bet I would be at least in the running. On my street, I definitely would win best on my street. And you know what? I think I would share it with best on your street.
Sure.
Because I can't imagine anybody's podcasting on your street.
Nope.
Songs, and he thinks he's going to get away with it? I mean, was it a publicity stunt on his
end?
They thought
they could.
A publicity stunt?
Yeah, well, yeah. 2 years of publicity stunt.
Right. Okay.
They thought they could, but no.
Okay.
I mean, justice is peace, and I don't know what kind of language I can use here, but when you mess with the wrong people, you get a bitch slap,
That's why I like Stephen on our show better.
Yeah.
Because he can swear.
He knows it, too.
He would just be like, yeah, I'd fucking smack that cunt.
I don't know what kind of language I can use on this show, but get bitch slapped.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah. That's why, repeat interviews on our show, they like coming on because they can just be themselves.
Yeah. It's always funny, too, when you get somebody that, I tell them, I don't know what you tell them ahead of time. I sort of do, but I tell them every time, you can swear on this show.
Yeah, well, I tell them we're uncensored, so let it fly.
And they all say, well, I'm not usually a potty mouth.
Yeah.
And then the minute they hear me drop an F-bomb, it is on. Which is why I generally try to drop an F-bomb. And for those of you that want to study this in my interviews, for somebody that I know swears, I will throw an F-bomb in as soon as I find a space early in the interview because I want them going full on. And if I do it early, then by the end of the interview, they're like, oh, those fucking cocksucking fucking bastards. They're all in. So I always try to do that.
It's the internet, so you can't say bitch.
Yeah, well, it's going to use much worse word than that.
Stephen, I was going to use a much worse word than that. Stephen's great. He's a character.
Yeah, he is.
Now that you guys are back together, is there a new Rat album in the works?
Actually, that's a good question. Now that Smash is done and out there, Warren and I have actually demoed up a couple songs. We would like, as we're taking things very meticulously this time around, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll start work on a record. That's the plan, so we can have a nice 2018 with a new record. We like making records. The one thing that keeps this band together all the time, in particular Juan and myself, and even Carlos, who wrote on the last record, is the music. I mean, this is what we do. I do it 24/7. I'm always writing for something, or you know.
Because you're also
we'd like to start
producer
work
as well.
at the end of the year.
Wow. Interject.
Hey, stop talking. I'm trying to.
On the record, yes.
You're also a record producer as well, right? So you're always doing something in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
But I did say
I do music for,
Wait a minute, Stephen. I'm trying to talk over you. Quiet down. This is my show. Pipe down there, fucky.
Yeah, shut it.
Yeah.
You're just the performer.
That's the re-recorded songs on The Wrestler of Mine, and I've done stuff for TV shows, Wicked City and NHRA, ESPN2 Racing, and I'm getting ready to do something again with somebody, a project, and I like that kind of stuff, I mean, I just don't yell at people for a living,
Well, we do here, so. So actually, it said that in the research, actually Wikipedia.
It's said in the research.
I mean Wikipedia.
It's said in the research.
I like that he just gave up that his research was Wikipedia.
Yeah, I don't know who you are. I really don't know anything about you, so I Wikipedia'd ya.
I just wish there was another Stephen Pearcy out there spelled a little different. And he started asking him questions like, so when you were getting your doctorate and
it's just like Wendell Neely is a dentist in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, and he's got a Facebook out there and everything.
I'm going to have to call him and book an appointment.
It's funny because he reached out to me. I think he reached out to me a few years ago through LinkedIn.
Okay.
And he goes, oh, so you're that other Wendell Neely I've been hearing about. But he's like a dentist.
Well, and you know the Chris Aiken story. There's a more famous
of course,
Chris
that
Aiken
hunting guy.
Yeah, the dog guy. He breeds hunting dogs or something.
Right.
Which is good because if I ever have to go get another job again, as people Google me, they'll think I'm that hunting guy.
Right.
They'll never figure out that I'm the foul-mouthed asshole that I am.
Yeah.
I'm covered.
Can we really credit Wikipedia with anything? But they said that you already announced that Rad is working on a new record, right? Or are we hearing that
Correct.
for the first time? Okay, you did announce.
Yeah, correct. We've already demoed.
You didn't get the exclusive. Sorry there, fella.
Yeah. Jason, Eddie, whoever you are, Chris.
Yeah, you didn't get the exclusive. It's already been announced.
It's the other two guys. I only hear the girl and the one guy.
Yeah, well, he must be Eddie because since his name is first, I'm going to assume he's the lead.
Think?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
A couple songs, and I think they're amazing. And that would be the way we write. One or somebody would just show me a riff, and if I start singing to it right away, it's like, let's go into the studio. And that's how it works. We just go in the studio, everybody has one, and we start writing a song, Nothing's changed, just different technology,
Does this go on your record label that you run, or what?
Or what?
Or what?
Next question.
I actually ask that a lot too.
Or what?
I do use or
yeah,
what.
see, I try to avoid that just because of that joke. It's like, is that going to be on your record label or what? Or what?
Yeah, I always go with it. But I usually give them like 5 options and then leave the 6th for whatever I didn't get.
Sure.
No, you see, I license my stuff out, or I put it out myself through Top Thrill Records. I like to retain my ownership, or eventually get my masters back. But I'm sure we'll work on something. The last one, I believe, last record was with Roadrunner, but I think that it's been too long. But now we have Juan back as a writer, and it's very important. You know, I mean, Juan and I wrote songs like Lack of Communication, You're in Love, some of our hits. So it's good to have him, you know, back in the fold for when we do a record. It took 10 years to do the last one. It's been 6 years since the infestation. So we're on target here.
All right.
We're a target.
Well, you know, given past history.
Yeah. What's funny is every other thing he was trying to interrupt. This one, he got caught off guard. Steven ended, and he was like,
I don't know what to ask next.
Yeah, he ran out of juice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when
going back to your solo album.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Sammy.
Jeez. That timing is everything.
That's where you need to fucking have the messenger and say, okay, you go.
Right.
Going back to talking about your solo album. How does it differ from Rat? Is it the same vibe, or like what can people that aren't familiar with your solo project, what can they expect if they go pick up the album?
Why is he not hanging up?
Yeah, at that point, it's just like, how come you didn't listen to it?
Yeah. How come you don't fucking have a clue? Is Spotify banned in your city? Listen to the record, dumb shit, before you fucking do an interview.
Well, see, again, it's just like, what's your new record like? Does it sound like Rat or what? What does it sound? It's like, you had me on your show. Why didn't you listen to it?
Yeah. And if we didn't send you the record, don't ask a question about it.
Right.
You know, that's one of these things. You know, one of these things that I'll just say who it is. Metal Blade does a lot recently is they schedule interviews before they send us the music. And if I do an interview before I've heard the music, I don't ask a fucking question about it.
Well, what can you ask about it if you haven't heard it?
And I refuse to do. Hey, you got a new record. What's that like? What's it about? How's it sound? You know, haven't heard it. Does it compare to? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because now you look ignorant, and it's embarrassing to the artist because it's just like you're interviewing me about this new release, but yet you haven't heard it or know nothing about it.
Exactly. And I'm not smashing the Metal Blade people because they're usually good to me about shit, but I'll just tell this story. I had this situation come up this week with a band I'm not into, Dragon Force. And they're scheduling interviews for Dragon Force. Now, you know, we always interview Dragon Force because there is an audience that likes them. But now I don't even have the music. And it isn't like I sit around listening to all their other stuff and developing questions over the last 5 years. You know how many times I listen to Dragon Force? The week before every interview I've ever done.
Right.
And then I don't hear them again until the next interview. So not having their music is going to make it a tough interview.
Sure.
It's like I actually told the publicist, I said, please send me some music. Send me a song, something so I can not just be asking questions that are already answered on the press release. Please. You know, it sounds like these guys, Smash has been out for what? Months.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's quite obvious that none of these people are fans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that girl that got, you know, one of the lead hosts there asked her, so is that, you know, you like that? Oh, I'm not really into that. I don't listen to it.
Right.
And this, you know, this lead host, well, we looked it up on Wikipedia, and because we don't really know much about you.
Who are you?
It's like, so are you just having Stephen on because he's a name and you're hoping to, it'll shed some light on your podcast?
Clickbait.
It's clickbait, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got a guy on. We don't know anything about him. He's got a new record we haven't listened to. I don't know anything about, the current activities that surround him, so let's have him on because he's a name.
Yeah, and again, that's fine if you want to have him on because he's a name. Well, ask him questions about the shit you do know. Ask him about the 80s, and then just do a plug at the end. The very end of it, after asking him 10 questions about partying or whatever.
Sure.
Hey, and you got a new record, Stephen. Tell us about that. Okay, well, people, you can get the new record at topfuelrecords.com. Out. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm some kind of super interviewer, but that's just how you do it.
Yeah, you have to engage your audience as well as your subject.
Yeah.
And make it interesting rather than go, I don't know shit about you. It's a Natalie.
If you haven't heard the record, why would you ask a question about it and admit that you haven't heard it?
Yeah, well, it's a Natalie. It's like, could you tell people who you are and what you do in the band?
Pretty much is. They barely seem to know more than that.
Yeah.
With Smash, well, they're going to get a record that's really quite diverse, and that was pretty organic. We wanted it to be like, listening to maybe, I wouldn't put myself in the same category as Zeppelin, but listening to something like Immigrant Song, and then That's the Way, or something, it's our physical graffiti, I would like to say. It covers all angles. It's an ebb and flow. It's not your standard boy-girl party, early rat scene stuff. It's quite involved, and it took a long time to write. We really spent a lot of time on it, and we're happy it's out on vinyl because that's how it should be listened to. Not on vinyl, but it should be listened to like you're listening to a record, beginning to end. And I'm sure when people put it on, they'll listen to it all the way through.
Wait a minute. Stop. That right there was Stephen throwing a load of shit out there. I love Stephen, but I'm calling him out on that. He fucking told us for a year he was going to record them one song at a time and put them out. For a year, these songs.
Yeah.
And now he just said, that's how it's supposed to be listened to from start to finish. Bullshit. You were releasing these songs for a fucking year ahead of time. One at a time. Stop it. Come on, dude. Love Stephen, but Jesus.
What was that? You're going to want to listen
kind of
to
the way
every
to
song.
go.
Tom?
Oh, sorry. For me, it cuts out on my end, but what I'm saying is vinyl's kind of the way to go these days anyway, because vinyl sells more than CDs, and I think even more than MP3s. So you're smart to release on vinyl.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, it actually in Europe, I believe it's the top selling item. Listening tool out there. iTunes has its own chart, and this has its own chart now. Look, they're calling me a new artist. I entered number.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
2 as a.
Oh my gosh!
Should we get a girl on our show?
Yeah, of course.
I think that's the element we're missing.
Want me to ring Stephanie right now? Bring her in. She could just act stupid. She's a little too smart for that.
Yeah.
Who do we know stupid? Do we know any stupid chicks?
Can we get Jaffer? 80s hairband whirl?
I'm sure some of the fucking retards I've dated would qualify.
Sure.
A bunch of dummies.
As a new artist in Billboard, and then I'm top 8 here and 160 there. They have me in like 4 or 5 different categories. And I'm like, well, whatever. At least we made it. That's all I cared about. And it's a good record. It took a long time. Eric Ferrantino's my guitar player. We co-wrote everything and spent a lot of time on it. and it paid off. Even down to sequencing now. A lot of people, I don't know if they know about compressing music, in the studio. It's called squashing it to make it sound a certain way. Well, we didn't do that. We wanted you to be able to listen to it and turn it up and up and up, and it won't distort. So we pulled out all the stops on the solo record, and I intend to use the same, ethics when we go do the Rat record. Spend a lot of time on it.
Next question. he's like trying to give them the next, cue. I'm done here.
Yep.
So, but I'm going to say it again. Love the new record.
Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these songs.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to love the way that they wrap this interview up.
Okay, good.
Well, cool. We're
Awesome.
looking forward to that. And I mean, like, how do you? A personal question, like, how do you continue to be such a badass throughout life?
Come on, really?
I don't know anything about you, but you're like a rock dude, so you probably are pretty badass.
What kind of question is that? How do you continue to be
such a badass through life? Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. A badass.
Is Stephen going to answer this?
Well, let's find out.
All right.
In general.
Well, I don't, I just do what I do. In the beginning, I stumbled into this lead singer kind of position. I was a guitar player first. I've never had any lessons or anything methodical. I just did what I did. Back in the day, it was Jack and cigarettes or whatever else we could abuse ourselves with.
Jack and cigarettes.
Nice.
Whatever else we could abuse ourselves with.
And this record was a very sobering experience, When I mean that, I mean everybody was sober and remains that way for quite a long time. So it does help, You didn't.
And I'm a witness to that. Believe me, when I went back and visited with them a couple of weeks ago,
yeah,
there was nothing to be had. Nothing.
I'm bringing joints. I'll be like, come on, you guys. I know Steven's making you not smoke this weed, but come on, let's go out back and fire this shit up.
Right.
I think it did. In the 80s, it was okay, but nowadays it doesn't work,
So you're saying you could not record a record on Jack Daniels these days? It just would not happen?
Well, I wouldn't want to now because the outcome of what you're doing at at my day and age in the game, I may look 20, but
19.
But my body's probably about 150.
You have to get some of those Aussie genetics.
I think that's an interesting comment, though, because I've noticed with a lot of younger rock bands, they all think that they can be like Rat or Motley Crue and be like partying and drinking and get to the level that you guys got to back in the 80s. But, like, the thing is, you guys are, I'm assuming, were probably already, like, famous and signed before the heavy partying stuff came in.
No. No. Not even a little bit, right? Could you say something else stupid, please? Holy shit.
So they were all clean and sober, and then they got famous, and then they got all fucked up.
In fact, they fucking got signed in a church right after service.
Sure.
And went right out to the tit bar and started snorting coke off the stripper's ass that same day.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it worked. What a dumbass. Holy shit. Please tell me Steven calls her a dumbass.
Well, we'll see.
Sure. Well, I mean, we were having at it, but, as success breeds excess, at that time everything was new and everything was free and there was way too much of it, and we lost one of our band members to substance abuse, Robin, and it just kind of throws you for a loop, and I didn't want to be the next down the line, which it's in my book. I was headed there, and eventually decided that's not how to stick around, if you want to continue doing what you're doing. Yeah, a lot of people think they can do that, but I'll guarantee you nobody could do that. Nobody could bands have tried to hang out with those before. They didn't last.
Well, how do you explain Keith Richards then? Can anybody explain that guy?
Who?
Keith Richards.
Keith? Oh, man, he made a deal with the devil, man.
I know. Like, what the hell's going on with that guy? As far as I know.
It's like Bob Dylan. It's like Bob Dylan. Listen to Bob Dylan. He made a deal with the man upstairs, downstairs.
I don't know how some of these people do it. Last I heard, Keith Richards is still, heavily boozing and still smoking and, still going strong, too. I don't get it.
I've even heard stuff that Keith Richards still does heroin. I don't know how true that was. I think it was from 5 years ago that he does it in moderation or something.
Oh, well,
What the fuck?
I still think we need to get a hole for our show because you can tell she raises the level of interest in this.
No, we're not. That will be look. If I ever do something so heinous that you want to get rid of me, but you just don't want to go through the hassle of saying, dude, you're off the show, just say, okay, this is Christina. She's going to be on the show with us from now on.
Maybe I could get Squirrel.
I promise I'll leave immediately.
Right. Maybe I could get Squirrel to join me.
Maybe. Wow. Squirrel. From the anime dad.
No.
Who's Squirrel?
From Metal Moose.
Oh, Metal Moose. Yeah, that's right. What was the mom's name on Metal Anime Dad?
Oh, I can't remember what her name was.
Metal Dad and Anime Girl.
Yeah.
The mom had a goofy name too, didn't she?
Something like that. Oh, something mommy or something goofy mommy or silly mommy or
some stupid name.
Yeah.
Missed that show.
Anything in moderation.
I think he pretty much. He had a great book, by the way. I think he pretty
Clowny Mom. Just hit me, Clowny Mom. There you go.
Pretty much just called it a day there, and when you're into something that long, and you're really not ready to. I mean, he's got a great book. I mean, it's got some interesting tales about how he kicked it. And it wasn't through rehab. He just crawled in a corner for 5 days or 6 days and roughed it out. But I think he's just like a jack guy, but it would probably take about 4 bottles,
That's intense.
We should explore that on our next.
Now that you say that, though, it kind of makes me wonder with Keith Richards if most of the stuff, like us thinking that he's drinking or doing drugs still, if that's just all kind of like a mystique and a hype around him, and he's for all we know, he could be like a teetotaler now.
Really? A teetotaler?
It's just for show.
Is that a real phrase? Teetotaler?
Yeah, teetotaler. That means someone who doesn't do drink or drugs or nothing.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Something's got to be up there. He just said we used to get our drugs for free and stuff. Well, how come if they all got their drugs for free, how come a lot of them went broke? And
because they made bad choices with their money. They didn't go broke because they spent it all on drugs. They went broke because they made bad choices with their money due to drugs.
Yeah, well, he could be lying, but I just remember Nicky Six saying he had like $100,000 a month heroin habit, and his business manager or whoever it was wrote to him and said, you'll be broke or dead in 11 months. I mean, I don't know if that was just hype or what, but I'm just thinking it couldn't have been all for free.
It's too bad he missed on that prediction.
Yeah, something's up there. Hail and kill.
All right, thanks for that, Tim.
And thanks for checking in again, Tim. Tim, you're about to get banned. Don't call back.
Right.
Go play with your
you'd
kids.
Be surprised. I mean, look at the people that have fallen, and you've never known they were, full-blown heroin addicts or whatever they were.
Or
You
pill
just don't
poppers,
know. I mean,
Did he say pill poppers?
That's what he said.
He said pill poppers.
Yeah, well, Stephen didn't hear it because he was, again, talking over him, so whatever. Say anything, it doesn't matter.
Right.
George Michael. I mean, shit. I didn't
That was
know.
shocking.
Did you attend the Grammys, by the way?
What? The fuck? Is this our interview with Shadow Steel?
Did you attend the Grammys?
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I just got to throw something in there because I'm out of shit. Nothing more to ask.
Yeah, when's the last time you were in Connecticut? Sorry to ask. That's a place I haven't been. So, Stephen, what do you think of the Rocky Mountains? The fuck? Random question is that?
Yeah.
No, we were gone. We were doing the show.
What
No.
do you have any interest in that at all, or you is that the awards?
Yeah, I've been to many of those things over the years. They're interesting, but it's pretty political.
Seems like a bunch of bullshit.
Otherwise, you'd have more. Otherwise, you'd have more rock bands that sold millions and made the record companies billions of records involved.
The whole thing is just an industry hand job to itself, really. I mean, you have the whole.
The way this guy pontificates.
I like his theory.
Yeah, it's a hand job to themselves.
Yeah, it's a good theory.
Mm-hmm.
Must be congratulating itself. That way it can sell more records because they put this artificial stamp that says Grammys on there.
Well,
Did you see what happened to Metallica?
Shut up, you dumb whore! Shut up! Fuck! No one cares about your fucking insight from fucking New Jersey, cunt. You fucking somehow weaseled your way into this interview. Now shut the fuck up! God damn.
Yeah, anybody can create, but the Grammys are supposed to be. I mean, it's a voting system. I could vote in the. I think I was to vote in there. I'm a voter, but it's just political because it doesn't matter if I vote for, Ozzy or somebody. They're not likely going to win. Best male vocalist, hard rock singer or something. So it is what it is. It's not like
Did you see what happened with Metallica?
Oh my God! Shut up!
Did you see what happened with Metallica last night on the Grammys?
No, I didn't watch it. What happened? Yeah, I know Jam with Lady Gaga.
So the person that they performed with Lady Gaga and Laverne Cox introduced them, and she spent more time talking about transgender issues and stuff than anything else, and she forgot to even introduce Metallica. She just introduced Lady Gaga, which was bad enough. And then they get on stage, and James Hetfield is singing, and his mic is completely muted. And then I guess there's also issues with the guitar. So throughout the thing, you're not getting the full audio of the instrumentals, and then you only got Lady Gaga's vocals. So there's all these sections where there's no vocals on it, and then he had to go over and share the mic with Gaga. It was a mess. I mean.
Thanks. Thanks for your insight. I hate her.
I knew you'd like this.
I hate this bitch.
Of course.
Really
chicks in general are never good on radio or podcast or whatever.
There hasn't been a good chick on the radio since the Fabulous Sports Babe.
Right.
And even she was questionable.
I mean, they sounded great if you could have actually heard him.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to do some checking up on that and see what really went down. I mean, I don't watch those things because.
The fuck is Steven doing now? He's going to check up on that?
It's like I could be less interested in this, but I'm gonna be polite and act like that this matters to me.
What happened? Let me get my phone. Hetfield. James, call me back immediately. It's Steven. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Right.
The hell? Shut up.
As I say, they're too political. I mean, the parties were great when I went to them, but that was then. I wouldn't go now. If they wanted to give me an award, it'd probably go in my garage like a doorstop anyway,
You don't seem to be like the type of guy who likes to kiss ass to get awards. That's why I like
No,
you.
man, I get them, and the ones I respect are the indies, The only two records that mean anything to me are my first gold and platinum album, and I don't even put those up. I've given most of mine away.
You want to send one over here? I'll hang it.
Yeah, EJC show.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if I'm in the books, I'm in the history books. I don't need to look at shiny things in my house to prove that I did something, Show me the publishing checks. That's all I care about.
There you go.
Where do you see the future of rock?
Oh my God. Really? She might as well ask your car stereo questions.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Well, there's some good bands out there, I've been turned on to some of these younger new bands, the Yellow Cards and the Screaming for Sirens and the whoever else. There's a bunch, and there's a lot of really good female. What I've noticed is a lot of really good female singers out there. Excuse me. And I think they're very talented. You just don't know these days. It could be somebody out of the blue. You don't need record companies these days to become somebody. With the internet, you can maybe get a deal that way. You just don't know anymore. But it just takes one song, and you never know. But there's a lot of great bands out there, but if they can sustain themselves, 10 years, you've done something. If you can do it for 20 or 30, well, then you've really accomplished something because you've got staying power. I don't know how we still do it, and I appreciate everybody that comes and sees us or me solo because it just means, hey, they're still turned on, To me, it's just, I've always had this motto, 100 people, 1,000, 10,000, it's a party. You want to go. I'll entertain you. I have a good time, I don't take it so serious, to where, I don't go biting in towels and drinking lemon tea and all that BS, it does nothing for me,
Well, you're a down to earth dude, and a great guy, awesome musician, and we all have grown up listening to your music. So thanks for coming on the show, Stephen.
I appreciate it.
It's great
I appreciate
to have
it very much.
Thank you.
And anybody wants to know what's happening in the rat world or my solo world, they can go to Stephen-Pearcy.com and let's hang.
All right, well, rock on.
Go buy the new album.
And thanks again. It's been an honor talking to you. Take care.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Maybe she could take her own advice and buy the new record.
Talking about an abrupt end to that. All right, thanks for calling.
All right, we're done here.
Yeah, I have no more questions. I didn't have any to begin with, but I had to wing it through 20 minutes.
Yeah, all right, we're out. Bye.
Thanks for calling. Bye.
Yeah, out. Steve's probably like, what? Huh?
Wait a minute. What happened here?
Did I piss them off somehow?
All right, you got to go. They pulled a Chris Aiken. Okay, your manager says
manager said it's time to go.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to a little bit of the aftermath here.
All right.
Bye.
What a nice guy. Thanks, Sammy, for that. That was just a pleasure to talk to
whatever his name is.
A cool dude who's seen it all.
It was great to talk to that guy.
He was. It was great to talk to a cool dude.
Him, yeah,
that guy.
Can't wait to have that guy back on.
Sure.
Oh.
Yep. And it's an interesting perspective on the music industry to talk to somebody that's been in the biz for probably 35 years or more than that. I think Rat came out in 1983. So definitely a different thing than what usually we talk to on the EJC.
The EJC.
EJC.
The EJC.
With SS.
So there you go. That's our next goal. We need to get a female perspective who can add so much to the conversation.
Well, we have done some things right, I'm learning. They are the EJC. We are the CMS.
Yes.
So We have adequately shortened our name as well. Yeah, we need a co-host that's a female. Who can we get?
I can't imagine.
Where is Jennifer? She's about due to pop her head back up, isn't she?
Yeah.
Or do you think the home probably stopped letting her out at this point?
I don't know.
Do you think that she is really a tard?
There's definitely something not right with her.
Got hit with a bat or something as a kid. Just something. Gotta be.
Even Eric Turner told me she was a little bit off.
A little bit.
Well, he was being kind.
Accidentally stood in front of a fucking bus that was rolling.
Sure.
She's a fucking tard.
Right.
Holy cow. And this girl's close. At least she's hot, though. People have been posting pictures of her in the chat room. She's pretty hot.
Let me take a look at the chat room and see what the folks are up to over there.
Well, they've just been showing some pictures of what's her name? Samantha Scarlett?
Yeah, is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
She looks like a blonde Elvira.
Oh, yeah.
She's a blonde Elvira.
You know what she looks like? One of the Olsen twins with a bad wig. That last picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look, they just posted a picture of her in a bikini. Yeah, she looks okay. She looks better than she sounds. That's for damn sure. Shaved puss. Little tits. All right. Nothing wrong with that one.
Oh, there's Jeffer.
Yeah. Boy, what a come down it is from the...
It's Jeffer.
There it is. What's that guy doing? Hairstyling for Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Mad Cow. Oh,
Man,
my God.
That guy didn't look good this week, did he?
Ugh. Yuck.
Yeah, that's an ugly man.
I'll tell you. Ouch.
I mean Jennifer or Rachel Maddow.
Yeah. You talk about birth control.
Yeah, really. Old Rocky. That's the name they call her online, Rocky Maddow.
Rocky Maddow.
Rocky.
Yeah. Like Rocky Balboa.
Yep.
Nice. She is really hard on the eyes.
She's ugly.
Ugh.
Just face it. And I know I'm no prize either, but she's ugly.
Yeah, well, she's probably got like a hot girlfriend.
Probably does, because she's probably got about $50 million.
Yeah, well, but she's definitely the man in the relationship.
Of course, that's why she has $50 million.
Of course.
She works. I'll give her that. She does work.
Yeah.
Shows up every day.
Yes.
Says a bunch of clowny shit, but she does work.
Maybe she's Clowny Mom.
She might be Clowny Mom. Clowny Dad.
Oh, Clowny Mom.
She's Clowny Dad.
Yeah. Ick. All right. Well, I'm going to get a drink.
We're blazing through this show tonight.
We are. We got 2 hours and it's done.
Wow. Okay.
We've been busting through here. All right. I know Jackal hates this disc, but you know what? It's my show. I don't give a fuck. But if you like Zeppelin, if you want a little tip of the hat to Zeppelin,
yeah,
this next Stephen Pearcy tune,
yes,
very very Zeppelin-esque.
Okay,
it's called "Shut Down Baby."
All right, cool.
So listen to the Zeppelin influences here. So here's some Stephen Pearcy, latest release, Smash, "Shut Down Baby," exclusively here
on your classic metal show.